What's up, dudes and dudettes? This is your host LL here, and today I'm gonna be reviewing this IoT miner known as M2 Pro, which basically mines you a token known as MXC, not to be confused with the exchange MEXC. They have nothing to do with each other. And this is a competitor, obviously, for Helium, also for Planet Watch, and it's a very vastly different from them in terms of their tokenomics and how things work. But obviously, since it's an IoT miner, in a lot of ways it's similar also. And in this video I'm gonna be giving my honest opinion about this experience so far and how much money I have made. So let's kind of start off by looking at the price of the miner. So this miner basically has four different options, or going to have four different options. You have the MXC token, you have a token known as Data Dash, and also you have Bitcoin. So they're going to be kind of like using, I guess, the IoT power and then exchange it into Bitcoin or something. So you can use this miner to basically mine Bitcoin as well and Polkadot as well. And this is not like what we are talking about Bitcoin mining here. It's not actually like, you know, proof of work mining, obviously. The machine is like consuming like 5 watts or something like that, which is incredibly low, roughly the same amount as a light bulb and all the other IoT machines which I've talked about on the channel before. I guess we could look at very briefly this PDF file, which kind of goes into the kind of like a one-page sales speech. So this is user friendly. They talk about miner, blah blah blah. In the app you can see all the statistics, the money coming in and all that stuff. And then they talk about the durability and the secure. It's a very light machine, you know. It's very like you can mount it on a wall, or you can just have standing it on still like I am having, and also energy efficient. And here's a comparison between an end miner, which is costing $3,500. Match to M2 Pro is 2,500 euros. So it is definitely the most expensive IoT miner on the market right now, and that's why there's a lot of hesitant people. Basically, you know, will I buy this or not? It's a kind of bit of an investment. I understand that, and that's very understandable. If you want to maybe buy something lower end, you should definitely go for Planet Watch or Helium, for instance. And then there's a noise. It's definitely silent. I can contest that. Operating costs are basically zero, minus the small electricity of the 5 watts that it's going to be taking. And plug and play, basically very easy to set it up. There's basically a QR code inside the miner which you can use. And then there's also weatherproof, so in case you want to use it on, you know, outside. And then there's like the interface, Ethernet, Wi-Fi, blah blah blah. Now, let's kind of go into a bit about the machine itself. So this is kind of what it looks like, the physical copy of it. There's one cable coming out, which is basically, you know, linking into this router thing. And then there you have to put, obviously, the other end into your modem, unless you're using Wi-Fi. I obviously always use cables instead because I think Wi-Fi is always unreliable, and I want to have like a full uptime always with any type of IoT miner that I'm basically holding. And then there's obviously the Data Dash application. Here's a bit of a, you know, breakdown how it looks inside. Now, I'm gonna say that the app itself is not the best that I've used. Obviously, you guys know I've reviewed many apps and wallets on the channel. This is not the best that I wanna like. It can be a bit confusing, all of this like staking things, and then there's this element of the fuel. And the fuel thing is kind of like the big, you know, caveat here, how the tokenomics work. So unlike Helium and other miners, you are basically getting $10 per day in MXC, depending on what the price is. So if you are in the bear market, you are getting more tokens. If the price is very high, you are getting less tokens. So this is very ideal when the token actually went up quite a lot recently. And obviously a lot of people benefited that, not me, because I got very unlucky. My miner actually, or somebody basically, the miner didn't get hacked, but my account got hacked because I didn't have 2FA security on it. So in case you're going to be buying, immediately put 2FA on, because somebody basically logged into my account And I do believe that this was because there was these password leaks from like Microsoft and other things. And I probably had an old password there, which wasn't secure, and somebody get in and basically withdraw a bunch of fucking money, $900 worth. Luckily, the MXC support was very friendly. They told me how to help me out and all these things, so they were very like cooperative in that sense. So props for them. But also maybe in their end they need to add like biometric scan into the application or PIN code, things like that to increase the security of the thing. I'm not saying that it was their fault that I got hacked, but you always kind of like obviously expect both parties to invest on the security. The 2FA is obviously very important, but it's very tiresome to use. So PIN codes are very nice, and obviously you can have both, but yes, so in my case, I lost around $900, I think, in current worth. And I think I had the miner around since January or February. I can't remember, but the RYI is around, depending obviously on the prices and everything, can be in less than a year. And in some cases, in my case, I was almost like making half already in a couple of months. So I basically would have maybe met my investment back in 6 months. The problem obviously with the system is that when you withdraw, your mining reward goes down, the fuel, which like determines the reward you're getting from daily basis. And in my case, I was obviously very unfortunate because the hacker basically not just stole my money, but it also, decreased my mining score, which is the fuel score, which is really, really bad. So it's going to take a long time for me to basically, recoup the investment on this type of thing. But one of the other benefits of the MXC obviously is that when you basically order the miner, so the delivery, let's say in Europe, for example, is going to be roughly 2 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks. But if you're going to be ordering, from Planet Watch or Helium, you are bound to wait 3 to 6 months. And that's not a very ideal waiting time. So if you want to get into the IoT mining business right now, the fastest way to get in is through the M2 Pro miner. So there's obviously a bit of a benefit here for having a high-cost miner, I guess, or they just happen to have a lot of these machines ready. But it's like you can get into this game very fast, relatively fast, start mining immediately. But overall, like when I look at these like earning type of a thing, I think it's very, very good. Obviously, when we're talking about this $10 thing, it's very, nuanced because, we don't know if the token is going to go up or down. It needs more utility. There are a lot of partnerships in the work, which have been stated by, their, there's like a roadmap and things like that. What I've heard from other YouTubers. So also one thing I forget to have, you can have like 3 of these machines inside your own home. There is no minimum like range requirements, so people can like stack up like 10 machines at the same place or something in case they want to really go ham on this project. So that's also another one benefit. So in the end of the day, I'm kind of my strategy is because I have more funds, I can invest on all of these IoT miners. But I think in a lot of ways, it is a better investment than Helium because Helium is extremely inconsistent on its income. And Planet Watch is also decent. And I would say like M2 Pro is also like very good in terms of the RYI. But it's hard to say like the trajectories of the token, how it's going to go up. If it's going to be like peaking now for 3 months and then it like goes 90% down, it's going to be taking a long time to basically recoup that investment. So it's a tricky situation. I think you want to go really deep down into the tokenomics and see a bit of the charts and thinking about where the price could basically evolve in the future. But that's pretty much my rundown. So there are good things about it and there are bad things about it. I kind of like the RYI model that they have going on. and it's low electricity, pretty easy to use. The app is not the greatest. Not to say that the apps from Planet Watch or Helium are that good. I think all of them could use a lot more fine tuning and make them more convenient. But I think the M2 Pro probably has the worst one of the three right now, and I think they need to do some improvements on there. Obviously, some people don't care about these little things. I'm maybe a bit more nitpicky, but I mean, M2 Pro or MXC is definitely a decent project, which I would, recommend if you have more money to spend. But I always would say that rather you also have the option, if you have the option to buy both Planet Watch miner and a Helium miner versus getting an M2 Pro, then it becomes a bit more harder question to answer which one I would recommend. But I'm opting for all of them. I'm crazy about IoT, and I think it's kind of like the new wave of crypto, and I think this year or the next year we're going to see this IoT rise, and there's going to be a lot more people getting into it. And especially when the Polkadot integration happens to MXC, I think there's going to be a lot more demand for these miners, and it's going to bring in like a whole new user base, basically getting involved and starting to mine Polkadot with their miner. But thanks for watching. I probably will be doing a future video which goes more into certain details. If there's something you want to know more specifically which we didn't cover in this video, or you want a more in-depth look into that, please leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll see what I can do. Thanks for watching. See you next time.